Well, it's a great day to talk CBD, cannabidiol, cannabinoids, cannabis, reefer, hemp, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're going to talk about today. It actually is continuing a discussion we started a little while ago about CBD, because there's a lot of questions about it. And now I want to talk more about it for a couple reasons. Number one is I am officially a CBD Wellness Certified trainer. I've passed with distinction my CBD Wellness certification as a cannabinoid expert. So I can actually say I know something about this stuff that somebody else thinks I know about. But seriously, we've talked about the different receptors, CBD1, CBD2 receptors, THC, cannabidiol, okay? Your cannabinoids, there's 85 different cannabinoids. Your body makes them, and you can get them from foods. Also, you have CBD1 receptors, which act primarily on the brain, and that's what THC, which comes from the marijuana plant, the different forms of marijuana, they act on the brain. They're called psychoactive. Your CBD2 receptors are more impactful on the immune system. They modulate inflammation, and they control things like pain. Those are found more in the periphery, less in the brain, and those are cannabinoids. And those are found in other plants besides marijuana that don't have THC at all or have very little THC. For example, black pepper and cocoa. Why do people love their chocolate? Why does it make them feel good? Because it impacts some of those endocannabinoid receptors. So it doesn't make you high, but you really do crave it. It makes you feel good. So another one is hemp. And that's what hemp is commercially grown to get cannabinoids, because of the plants that have cannabinoids that don't have THC or very little THC, hemp is your best bet. So hemp oil is a very good source of cannabinoids that has very low THC. So look for those hemp oil products. How do you know if a hemp oil product is a good product? Well, there's a few things you must check for. Number one, you have to make sure that it is free or very low concentration of THC. Some hemp oil products will say THC free. Others will say less than 0.3% THC. You want that. If it's more than 0.3% THC, guess what? It's an illegal substance to sell in the United States. It's considered marijuana. It's not considered cannabinoid or hemp oil. So you have to watch out for that. But how do you know? That product needs to be indicated in some way to an independent assay by a lab that shows what its constitution is. How much THC is in there or is not in there. How much cannabinoids are in there or not in there. There's another good compound in there called terpenes or aromatic oils. Very good for inflammation. How much terpenes are in there? Are there pesticides? Are there heavy metals? Are there bad things in there that can be picked up by any plant? An independent assay must be found for that bottle, for that jar, for whatever cannabinoid product you have, for whatever CBD oil or powder or pill that you have or spray. There's got to be a way to trace it back to an independent assay not done by the manufacturer. If the manufacturer does one, that's great. Extra protection. But make sure they have somebody else do them for each batch and for every bottle. You also hopefully can trace that individual bottle back to seed. Where did it come from? Who grew it? And how did they manage their growing? What kind of practices do they have? Because there's plants. These products need to be standardized. Because let's face it, sometimes you eat an apple, it tastes great. Sometimes you eat an apple, oh God, there's no flavor. It's an apple, it's a plant, the way it grew, the amount of sun, the amount of water, how hot, how cold. That determines how great your apple tastes. Well, it also determines the percentage of terpenes and cannabinoid and THC, if you want or don't want it, in those products, all right? So you need that independent assay, all right? And it needs to be judged for all different things, not just cannabinoids and THC, but for also the terpenes, the phenols, the good things, and the bad things like heavy metals, arsenic, lead, cadmium. Great for pain, CBD oil, which is safe. It is great for anxiety and stress. It's great for irritable bowel syndrome. It's great for psoriasis because it works by balancing the body. It's what's called an adaptogen. It will not have a psychoactive effect. It's not going to increase your appetite. CBD oil is not going to increase your appetite. It's not going to make you lightheaded or give you that sense of euphoria other than like a high that you'd get from THC, all right? But it will make your overall body feel better. I know for me it's helped my sleep immensely. My quality of sleep is significantly better. I just wake up more refreshed. It's kind of interesting. So there's lots of good benefits of CBD oil. Talk to your healthcare provider about it. And if your healthcare provider doesn't know that much about it, hey, call me, talk to me, because I am a certified CBD wellness healthcare expert. Thanks for tuning in. CBD is great stuff. It's safe. Hey, one contraindication. If you're taking immunosuppressive drugs, do not take CBD oil, okay? They are contraindicated if you're on immunosuppressive drugs. If you're on any medication that interacts with grapefruit, definitely discuss that with your healthcare provider because there may or may not be an absolute contraindication. That's a relative contraindication. So those are some things you got to watch out for. Just because it's natural, just because it's safe, doesn't mean you don't have to be careful with its application. You always have to be thoughtful with anything you do, whether it's a nutritional supplement or it's an exercise program. Talk to your doc about it and be helpful. Have a great day.